Hey y'all, today we're making chili cheese quesadillas. Okay, now I got this recipe off of another YouTube channel. It's called Chilling Lunch. That is Rose and Sebastian, and I will link their video where I got this from down below for y'all. Y'all need to check them out. They have some really good stuff over there. So what I'm doing is adding about a pound and a half of ground beef. It doesn't have to be exact, but it needs to be at least a pound. And then I added in some chopped onion, and I'm adding in some diced up bell pepper, just some green bell pepper. I'm just adding what I had. I'm going to follow her recipe as closely as I can, but there were a few things I didn't have, so I kind of had to wing a little bit of it, but I got the most of it, and these turned out so good, y'all. I know it's a little bit different, and they are actually based in Germany, I believe, so, you know, sometimes they cook a little differently than we do, like some of the recipes, maybe some of the seasonings and things. So I wanted to try something a little bit different, and I hope y'all enjoy this because it turned out fantastic. So I browned my meat until it was all done and then drained the grease. So now I'm adding in some cumin. I did not measure, but I will put y'all some measurements down in the description box. Or you can follow her measurements over on her channel because I'm going to link her video. So I added cumin, and then I added some paprika, and I'm adding some parsley. And like I said, she had a... I can't remember what it was now. It was a different seasoning. Oh shoot, I can't think of what it was. But anyway, I didn't have it. So I ended up adding some different stuff here in a minute. But I mixed my seasonings in good. And then you're going to add in 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, okay? Because it's a I almost said chili cheese fries. It's a chili cheese quesadilla. So we have some little chili elements that we need to put in here, right? So I put in 3 tablespoons of tomato paste and about a half to a third of a cup of water. And we're just going to mix this up until our tomato paste is really good and mixed in with that meat, okay? And like I said, I followed her recipe as closely as I could. I did the best I could. So, you know, I don't know, it turned out good to me, so I guess that's all that matters. So now I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons of corn. I'm not adding the juice. I'm draining the juice off of the spoon when I scoop it out of the can. I didn't have any fresh corn, didn't have any frozen corn, so I had to use canned corn because that's what I had. So about 3 tablespoons of that, and then I just mixed this up, and then I let it cook for a few minutes, just, you know, a couple of minutes, a minute or two, until my corn kind of got warmed through also, you know. So once that kind of warmed up a little bit, I gave it a little taste, and because I knew I was missing one of the seasonings, I wanted to, you know, taste it and just see if I needed to add anything else. So I ended up adding a little bit of onion powder, and then I added just some salt and pepper to taste. And I mean, you can do the same thing. I would follow her recipe exactly because hers looked fantastic, y'all. But again, I didn't have some of the stuff, so I just went with what I had, and that's okay. Sometimes that's how we have to do it. So I mixed it up, made sure all my seasonings were good, and if you need to add more seasonings again, you certainly can do that. If you want to give it a little kick, put a little cayenne pepper in there. Do it however you want to do it. It'll be fine. So I'm trying a different camera angle here, y'all, so hopefully this is good and y'all be able to see things a little bit better. So that's my meat all nice and done. And I am going to, well, obviously I got my griddle out. I'm going to use these homemade tortillas. Now, if you've never made homemade tortillas, I will link the video I made. I think y'all would have seen it last week by the time this video posts. And I made those homemade tortillas, and they were divine, y'all. But I also have some other store-bought tortillas just in case I run out. So she cooked hers in the oven, and I forgot to preheat the oven. So that's why I'm doing mine on the griddle. But you know what? It came out okay. So it's fine. It's fine. I wasn't too worried about it. So put your tortilla down. I did put a little cooking spray on the underside of my tortilla, just, you know, to make it crisp up a little bit. And then I added the cheese. I'm adding a little bit of meat. Now, I should have stopped when I was adding this little bit of meat because I just don't know what I was thinking. I just kept on adding meat and darn near couldn't get my tortillas closed, y'all. So you don't need a ton of meat. You don't need a ton. Make sure whatever you put in there actually fits in your tortilla. And of course, homemade tortillas, they're funny shaped. Mine are anyway, because Lord, I can't roll out a circle to save my life. But they're a little bit funny shaped, so, it'll all come out better in a perfectly round tortilla, but that's not what I had. So we went with what we had. Mine looked like little eggs or something. But anyway, put your cheese down, put your meat down, and then put you some more cheese down, because with a quesadilla, you want it melty on both sides so that your tortilla sticks to your meat and gets all ooey gooey, right? So once you get all of your stuff on here, you're gonna close your tortillas up, and I needed a little help, like I said, because I stuffed them so full. And just cram anything that falls out back in there. It shouldn't fall out once your cheese starts to melt, but while your cheese is not melted yet, sometimes you'll lose a little bit. Just kind of scoop it back in there. It'll be just fine. And my griddle ain't dirty, if anybody's thinking that. It's just old, and that's where the actual burner is, and it's just... I need a new one, okay? Let's not talk about it. So you're going to let that cook until the cheese on the underneath part has melted. Then you just flip it over and you cook it until the cheese melts on the other side. Once your cheese is melted on both sides, your quesadillas are done. Okay, they're done. Now, it's not a traditional quesadilla, obviously. We may do those one day on the channel, though, because I've been asked about that. But these are stinking delicious. So if you like quesadillas and you like to try things that are a little bit different, you need to give these a try, because they are so good. Okay, that is all I've got for y'all today, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.